What's going on, everybody? This be your boy DJ Anonymous for sportsbizmusic, episode 24. Yeah, 24. So, yeah, 24. 24. Yeah. Yeah, man. But I got a special guest. I got ER305. What's going on with you, bro?
Just vibing, man. Living. You know what I'm saying? About to put out a new single this week, hopefully, if everything goes right, called Free, produced by my boy Bases Loaded out of DMV area, Washington, D.C. You know what I'm saying? Just been cooking up some new music after I dropped of a different cloth last summer, so I just been grinding, you know what I'm saying, getting all the chips right and shit.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So
you curse, right?
Yeah, you can curse, man. It's a podcast.
I've been sat on shit where they're like, nah, we got to do that over. We got to do that over.
Nah, man. But so I know, pretty sure a lot of people know about you, but still some that don't.
Yeah.
So give like a little brief, you know, I don't want to say description, but just a brief, you know, who you are, history.
Yeah. I mean, like my dog said, I go by ER305. You know, I've been putting in work for a couple years now, locally, and you know, whatever city will have me on some boogie shit. But I started off as part of the Bag of Bombs with my boy, basically back in 2012. 2013 we put out a project, 2012 as well. After that, shit ain't work out. You know, still my dog on some personal shit, but just on the music tip, it wasn't working out too much. 2015, I came back out with Tunnel Vision, worked that project for 2 years. It really put me out there on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I was out at South by Southwest, I was at A3C and shit. Took another year and a half break or so, just working on music, getting all the business right. You know, shaking hands, meeting different people in the music business. And then summer 2017, I put out of a different cloth. I've been working the first single, Any Given Sunday, which, you know,
that's hard. That's a hard track.
Appreciate that, man. That's kind of the track that really, you know what I'm saying, got my numbers up, got my fan base up and all that. So I'm actually about to strike back with Free now, which is a switch in direction of where Any Given Sunday was at. But
yeah, that's what's up. Cause
still one of my favorite tracks that I've ever written.
Yeah, cause like it got that Miami like vibe to it, that bass, you know, and you know what I'm saying, like that sound. So when I heard that, I was like, it's hard, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
appreciate that, man.
So before all this started, like where the music started? Like where did the passion for music start?
Man, it was from early, to be real with you. Like I kind of knew, you know, since I was a jit, that this is kind of what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I was raised with like a lot of my uncles and cousins and older neighbors and shit, and they was listening to rap back then. You know, I was born in '87, so by the time I'm 4 or 5, you know, I'm listening to Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 2 Live Crew, Poison Clan, Bone Thugs. You know, the list goes on. So I've kind of been surrounded by rap my entire life. So it's damn near all I ever knew, really.
So pretty much like your family was like a heavy influence to get into music.
Definitely. Yeah, my old girl ain't like it too much, you know what I'm saying? But she knew what it was. Like she knew that was really my passion. So even before I ever took music seriously, even before I ever laid down or anything, she was like, you know, do that. That's you. You got an ear for it. You know what it is. So she's always been supportive on that too.
So what's up? Of course it's hip hop, but who was like your favorite like artist, you know, growing up?
Man, like we were saying before, bro, I got so many people I grew up on, you know, starting locally, of course, Trick Daddy, you know, Miami Mayor, Bone Thugs, Nas, Wu-Tang, 8 Ball and MJG, 3-6 Mafia, UGK, Outkast, T.I., Wayne, I mean, you name it, you feel me, like that. We came up in like so many different sounds and so many styles that I'm a student of all that.
Yeah, because you know, I was born in '82, so I kind of got that feel, but you was born in '87, so you got the pretty much all the different eras, you know, like the '90s, you know, some of the late '80s, 2000s and stuff like that.
Yeah, I always be telling like my older cousins and my older homeboys and all that shit. I'm like, you know, like the East Coast was y'all golden era. You know what I'm saying? Like Wu-Tang and Mobb Deep and Nas and all that shit. But like, you know, people my age, our coming of age shit was like Cash Money, No Limit, 3-6, T.I., Outkast. So that played probably the heaviest role in what I do. You know, like I grew up on the old East Coast shit, the old West Coast shit, but like when the South took over is really when I started understanding, you know, just being being able to.
Cause it was all
express
relatable.
yourself. Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like
we knew where it came from for real.
Yeah.
We understood it more.
Cause I remember growing up, you know, I used to like my brother. He was a rapper. You know, we listened to Bone Thugs and stuff like that. But when it came to the South, you know, you had Trick Daddy. You also had Scarface.
Yeah, that's definitely
You know
another one. A lot of people say they hear that in my music.
Yeah, I hear that too because like you just have a true like you have that true Southern feel. You know, like you know, a lot of us, most artists in Miami have like some of that. You know, they hear like the East Coast. You know, You know, because in that era, you know, especially in the early 2000s, like a lot of different.
Down here too.
Yeah,
you had a lot of transplants like Atlanta now.
Yeah.
You know?
So Atlanta is like pretty much like they say the New York of the South.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when did you first start like writing music?
I mean, to be real with you, like even back in middle school, like 98, 99, 2000, I was writing music, but it wasn't into it. I was just rhyming words in a notebook, but I ain't even really record my first rap till like 2010, 2011, so I'm a late bloomer, really.
Yeah.
You know, niggas be starting at like 15, 16 and shit. I wasn't laying down my first verses till after I was 21, 22 or so. So, you know, I came into it kind of late, but it just felt like the right time. And I'm glad it happened out that way because now I have a lot more experience. I've lived a lot more life, so I'm able to put that into the music, you know what I'm saying, and really have something to say as opposed to kind of just turning up how, you know, the youngins are doing now and shit.
So what was like that first song that you recorded and like, it was like, it how you call it, like it encouraged you more to do more music?
To be real, most of it wasn't even my own music. I was just doing little guest verses for my homeboys who rap back then. You know what I'm saying? I just do a little 16 here, a little hook there, and everybody would always be like, "Yo, like you a natural. Like you never really done it, but you got it. You understand what bars are, what structure is, how to flow right. You know, depending on the beat and all that. So I kind of always just had a knack for it, and then I had actually started making beats around that time for people and shit, and it never really went nowhere with what they were doing, and then I was like, yo, like, I could low-key rap better than them. Let me just, you know what I'm saying, do it over my own production and see where it goes. So it's been a crazy journey, though, I'll say that.
So how you got into, like, producing?
I didn't want to be a rapper, to be honest. Like, I knew I had an ear for it. I knew how to do it, but I'm real low-key.
Yeah.
Like, people would even be clowning me because they like, yo, you don't be on social media enough. Even when I sat with labels, they're like, yo, you got to be more active on social media, but that's not my personality. You feel me? So I'm like, yo, I'll play the background. I'll do the beats. It's still a part of the song or whatever, but after a while, it was just kind of like, man, fuck it. Let me just go in on it. Like, I know what I'm capable of doing, so let me just go ahead and do it.
So you from Little Havana.
Yeah.
You know, explain to the people, especially the out-of-towners that don't really understand like the culture that goes around in Little Havana.
It's different. You know what I'm saying? You could watch First 48 and get an idea of it, but I mean, it's a mix. You know, it's crazy. It's a mashup because you have like 8th Street, you know what I'm saying, Cayocho, which is like the tourist spot. You got people from all over the world who come and they see the old little Cubans rolling up cigars and playing dominoes and all that. But once you go into the actual neighborhood, everything ain't that. It ain't this tropical little, you know what I'm saying? Like if you think about it, even just looking on the map, the two neighborhoods next to us are Overtown and Alapata. So you know how they get down. So naturally, you know, Little Havana is also a poor, you know, impoverished area. So you have that same street element, that same hood element to it. But what made it different from like an Overtown or a Liberty City and all that was that a lot of our parents were the first ones from the family to come to America. You feel me? Which was the case for me. Like when I was born in '87, my parents had only been here like 2-3 years before that. So they ain't even speak English. They don't know the way America works.
Where they originally from?
My old girl's from Honduras.
Honduras?
Yeah, my pops is from Guatemala. But I was born and raised here, you know, Jackson Memorial.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, man, I live like 4 blocks away from that bitch. So,
Yeah, because, Little Havana, when you think of Little Havana, you think just Cubans, but I know they got little Dominican spots over there, Puerto Ricans over there.
As time went on, you know what I'm saying, and the Cubans started prospering and doing their thing, they started branching out, moving to different areas. That's when we started coming in. That's when all the Central Americans started coming in. So, like, the name Little Havana at this point is really just a name because it's mostly, Nicaraguan, Honduran, Salvadoran, Guatemalan, you got people from Belize, and it's like more of a little Central America than a little Havana at this point. You got your people actually just now that you have all the gentrification going on in Miami. Now you also have people moving in from out of state, from random ass places, and now they're bringing their vibe into the mix. So it just keeps getting more and more mixed up as time goes on.
Yeah, you think Little Havana was like one of your motivations, like one of the like. For example, like T.I. always rep Bankhead, and he always talk about where he come from and things like that. Little Havana gave you that same inspiration, like you want to come out from Little Havana?
Yeah, definitely, because most of my life experiences and all the shit that I've been through, good and bad, has been based out of there. Like I always tell people, I've never left Miami really until I started doing music, where I got booked for shows out of town or interviews out of town and shit like that. Music gave me the opportunity to see that there's more out there besides Miami, and that happens with a lot of people. Unfortunately, they don't get the chance to go and experience it, and they're stuck in Miami their whole life. But music showed me that there's more. But just the stories growing up that I've done there, the dumb shit that I've done, the good shit that I've done, my homeboys, people I know, their experiences, it all. My music is more, my experiences, their experiences, everything that goes on, that has gone on there, plus my point of view on, shit outside of there, just the world as a whole.
Yeah, so how was it like when you first started moving on your own, getting out of Miami and going to like the labels and going to like South by Southwest and all that? How was that experience?
It was crazy because South by Southwest was a couple years ago, about 3-4 years ago, and it wasn't even like, how they be doing, like the promoters will throw shows out there as, during that weekend, during that week, but it's not really an official showcase or official South by Southwest or an A3C show. And South by Southwest got a hold of our shit because at the time it was me and my boy. Basically, we were the vagabonds. That's what we went by. And one of their kind of the way it works for them is that they have two committees. They have the first committee, which is like the first round of who they looking at, who they might be interested in. Then it gets passed on to like a second committee. They were like, yo, y'all need to be on here because y'all been doing all these moves independently. We can confirm that it's independent because, labels be getting in on the low, promoting people like they indie, but they really been signed the whole time. So the dude was like, yo, y'all need to do a show and y'all gonna be one of the headliners for the show, which is like an indie showcase, showcasing, top indie people from the country, like ourselves. You have Alex Wiley that was on that stage. You had a couple people that are big now, actually. I can't remember exactly who, just because there's so much. So I actually brought Prez P out there to do a set with me. Yeah, we had Did Empty Spaces before I dropped it. It was like a little rough draft version that I had. Because at that point, I had no solo content. And the Vagabonds, we only had one project. You feel me? So it was pretty crazy. But yeah, man, it was crazy just knowing that somebody out in Texas was like, yo, y'all need to be a part of this. Like, y'all are doing really big things independently, and we need to showcase that. Same thing with A3C. A3C, they also hollered at us and was like, yo, y'all need to do this independent showcase because most of the people we book are signed. Y'all are indie. And at that time, we were the main headliners with 24 Hours, which is made in Tokyo, Big Brother. He used to go by Rolls Royce Rizzy back then. And Art Morera was also a part of that show. So, Miami guesses looks. It ain't like we don't, because that's usually a big complaint people got, but it's crazy. It's surreal almost, like, damn, just this shit that I spit got me going to these places.
Because, you going out there, you actually moving out and traveling and networking and things like that, because I feel like some artists down here, DJs and producers, like, they get too comfortable, staying in one hub and don't realize that a lot of people love listening to our sound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just hip hop, but also R&B, reggae, everything. Like, we just different. You know what I'm saying?
We got everything. We such a big melting pot that we have whatever you're looking for in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And even in the last, especially in the last couple of years, you can see that a lot where, our slang is being picked up, our style, the way we dress and all that shit, the way we talk is being picked up by